In today's video, I'll be showing you how to build domes and cylinders in Minecraft. However, I already have a video showing you how to build circles, so if that's what you're trying to build, I will leave a link in the description to the video about building circles. So let's get building. So first, I'll show you how to build a cylinder. So cylinders are actually really easy to build. All you have to do is just have one circle and then you build another circle that is up however many blocks tall you want, and then you just fill in the space in between the circles. So to build a cylinder, you're going to start with your circle, and then you're just going to come to the center point here, and then I will be building up 13 blocks, but you can build up however many blocks you need for your build. So I will build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So for the lower circle, I built out 9 blocks from each side of the center point. So we'll do the same thing up here. So what I'll do is just build out 9 blocks from each side of the center point. And now you can see how we have this cross down here with the red concrete, and we have the same size but up here instead. So now we'll just want to copy this circle that we did down here but up here instead. So what I did is I build out 2 from this side, I build out 3 like this, I build 1 here, 1 block here, 3 like this, and then 2 here. So I'm just going to build this same thing for each side here. And then when I'm finished, I should have the same circle as down here, up here. Now that I've finished that, you can see how I have the same size circle here as I do down here. So now that I'm finished up here, you can see that this circle is the exact same size as the one down here. So now that we have both circles done, we can just build from each block. We can just build up to the same block like this, just on the bottom side of the top circle. So you'll want to continue doing this pattern. Just connect each block. So just keep connecting the top circle to the bottom circle like I'm doing right now. And if you have any parts of the circle that just isn't lining up, that means your circles probably aren't the exact same. So you'll need to check if your circles aren't quite the same. And once you have finished building up each side, you should have a finished cylinder. So if you want to break out the guiding blocks, you can just break all of these guiding blocks like this. So now I'm going to show you how to build a dome. So a dome is basically a half sphere. So the first step in building your dome is build a circle, however big you need it on the ground. In my case, I'll be using a circle with a diameter of 23 blocks. So once you have your circle, what you'll want to do is go to your center point and just count out how many blocks from the center point each side is like this. So this whole side here for me is 11 blocks long. So what you'll want to do is once you figure out how many blocks long this is, from the center point, you'll just want to build up however many blocks that is. So for me, it's going to be 11 blocks. So I'll build up 11 from the center point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So once you have your center point built, you'll want to take half of your circle and you'll basically want to build that up right here. So for my circle, I'll be focusing on this half here. So you can see how from this block, this goes out 2 blocks. So I want to build up 2 blocks from here so it's the same length like this. Next, you can see I have 3 blocks here. So I'll just want to build a temporary block that I can build off of, and then 3 blocks up, and then delete the temporary block. So next you can see I have 2 blocks here, so I'll just want to build up 2 like this. And then next I have 1 block, so I want to build a temporary block, build 1 block on top of it, and then break the temporary block. So next I have another 2 blocks, but instead we're going to build these to the side, and then we have another 3 blocks next. So we'll build 3 blocks, but to the side. And then you see we have another 2 blocks here. So we'll just build 2 blocks out from this side. So now we have half of this circle done. So I want to mirror this to this side. So basically we want to build out, so you see we have 2 blocks here. I want to build out 2 from the opposite side. We have 3 blocks here, so we'll want to build out 3 blocks to the side like this. And then we have 2 blocks here, so we'll build out 2 blocks to the side like this. And then we have 1 block next, so we'll build out 1 like this. And then you see we have 2 blocks down next, so we'll go over here and we'll build 2 blocks down. And then we have 3 blocks after that. So we'll build 3 blocks down. And finally, we have 2 blocks here. So we'll just build up 2 blocks like this. And now you can see that this half circle is the same size as this one, it's just upright. So now I want to do the same thing, but with the half circle going around this side. So it's the same thing, just on a different axis. So you can see how here we have 2 blocks out. We'll build 2 blocks out on this side. And then we have 3 blocks out here. So I'll build 3 blocks out over here. And then we have 2 blocks out next. So I'll build out 2 blocks. And then next we have 1 block. So I'll build 1 block. And then next we have 2 blocks, but vertical, so we'll build 2 blocks down. Next we have 3 blocks vertical, so we'll build 3 blocks down like this. And then finally we have these 2, so we'll just build up 2 like this. So now we'll build this same quarter circle, but on this side as well. So you can see we have 2 horizontal blocks, so we'll place 2 horizontal blocks here. And next we have 3 horizontal blocks, so we'll place 3 horizontal blocks here. We have 2 horizontal blocks next, so we'll build 2 out like this. Next we have 1 block, so we'll build 1 out here. And now we have 2 vertical blocks, so we'll build 2 vertical blocks down here. Then we have 3 vertical blocks, so we'll go over here and build 3 blocks down. And then finally we have these 2 vertical blocks, which we'll just build right here. So next we're going to need to fill in like the walls of our circle. So now you see how this is 2 blocks up here. So what I'll want to do is I want to build this whole bottom circle here up to the same height as this one. So that should be pretty easy. So I just build this entire circle up another 2 blocks. Now you can see how this circle is in line with this half circle that we built up earlier. And it's the same height on each side, as you can see here. So the next part is going to be a little trickier. So we'll have to build another circle that is 3 blocks tall because this next part happens to be 3 blocks tall. So I want to build another circle around, but in another block. So we'll build some over this empty space as you can see here, but we never want to overlap blocks like this. So we'll just build another circle out like this. And then we'll delete these temporary kind of corner blocks here. And now you can see how we have a quarter circle here that lines up with this and it lines up with this. So now I'll build the same quarter circle that's in between this block and this block, but I'll build it in between this block and this block. And then we'll build the same quarter circle, but in between this block and this block. And then we'll build the same quarter circle, but between this block and this block. Now we should have an inner circle like this, and then we'll want to build the inner circle up to the same height as the top of this block. Now we're going to have to build another inner circle, but we'll build it between this block and this block. And you can actually kind of see how the circle we're building is actually going to be the same thing as the empty space here. So we're actually going to build 2 blocks here, just like down here. We're going to build a temporary block, and you see how there's these 3 empty spaces. We're just going to build 3 like this. Then we have this kind of corner. We're just going to build the same thing above, and then a temporary block. Then you see how we have these 3. We're just going to build above those, like so. And then we have these 2 empty spaces here that we're just going to build over like this. And then we'll go and break all the temporary blocks. So we're going to build the same quarter circle, but instead between this block and this block. Now we're going to build the same quarter circle again, but between this block and this block. And we will build one more quarter circle between this block and this block. Now we're going to have to build all 4 of the quarter circles that we just built up another block so it's in line with this one. And now we have all the quarter circles built up so they're in line with this block. Next, we're going to have to build another inner circle. So we'll use the same procedure we did last time. So we'll build 2 blocks because there's 2 empty spaces here. We'll build 3 because there's 3 empty spaces here. We'll build 1 because there's an empty space here. We'll build 3 because there's 3 empty spaces. And we'll build 2 above these 2 empty spaces. And then we'll go and destroy our temporary blocks. And now we're going to do the same quarter circle, but in between this block and this block. Now that we have that done, we're going to build another quarter circle between this block and this block of the same size. And finally, we're going to build one more quarter circle of the same size between this block and this block. Alright, now that we have that done, you can see how we don't have to build this circle up anymore because it's already in line with this block here. So this next part is going to be pretty tricky. So to start, we're just going to build another quarter circle that connects this block to this block. So we'll follow the similar procedure as we did for the vertical ones. So since there's 2 empty spaces, we'll build 2 blocks above, and then we'll build 3 blocks above these 3 empty spaces. We will build 3 blocks above these 3 empty spaces, and we'll build 2 above these 2 empty spaces. And then we'll go and destroy the temporary blocks. Now we'll want to build another quarter circle on the same height as this quarter circle, but instead between this block and this block. So we'll build 2 blocks here because there's 2 empty spaces. We'll build 3 here because there's 3 empty spaces. We'll build 2 here because there's 2 empty spaces. And we'll build 2 here because there's 2 empty spaces. And now we're going to want to build these same 2 quarter circles, but between these blocks instead. So we'll want to do the same thing, but instead between these blocks and these blocks. Finally, we'll do the same thing, but between these blocks and these blocks. For the next part, we're going to build another quarter circle between this block and this block. So you can see how we have 2 empty spaces, so we'll build 2 blocks. We have 2 empty spaces here, so we'll build another 2. We have 2 empty spaces here, so we'll build 2 here. And then we have one last empty space, so we'll build 1 here and delete the temporary block. And now we'll want to build the same quarter circle, but between this block and this block instead. And then we'll build the same quarter circle between this block and this block. And we'll do the same quarter circle between this block and this block. Next, we're going to build a quarter circle between this block and this block. So we have 2 empty spaces here, so we'll build 2 blocks. We have 1 empty space here, so we'll build 1 block. And then we'll build 2 more blocks in these empty spaces. And then we'll build the same quarter circle between this block and this block. And we'll build the same one between this block and this block. And we'll build the same quarter circle between this block and this block. And now we're going to build a quarter circle between this block and this block. We'll build the same one between this block and this block. We'll build the same one between this block and this block. And we'll build the same one between this block and this block. So now you can see that we have a 5 by 5 square. So we'll just fill in above each of the empty spaces from the top. So sometimes having a square on top of a dome doesn't look very good with certain size domes. You might just want to cut off the corners and just build them down a block so it looks a little more circular. But this just depends on what size your dome is. So if the square looks better for the size of dome you have, but if it looks better with the corners down a block, then do that. This is the finished dome as you can see here. So now that you know how to build a dome, you can build spheres really easily because a sphere is just one dome with a upside down dome underneath. Hopefully this video helped you with how to build domes and cylinders. And leave a comment down below with what tips you would like to see me do a video on next. I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.